What if I told you the robot apocalypse isn't a war where machines hunt us down? It's a quiet boardroom meeting where they simply decide you are no longer necessary. We've been sold a lie. The media screams about AI taking your job, but that's a distraction. The real nightmare is far more surgical. A Yale economist just accidentally leaked the blueprint for the end of the human workforce. Not unemployment, irrelevance. Look at this title: We Won't Be Missed. This isn't sci-fi. It's a mathematical proof that the future economy booms, while your value drops to absolute zero. Stick with me, because in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how the elites plan to detach their wealth from your existence, and why this document is the smoking gun they hoped you'd be too distracted to read. They keep telling you AI is a copilot. AI will empower the worker. It's the fourth industrial revolution. That is the pacifier they stick in your mouth so you don't scream while they dismantle the nursery. The official story is that productivity goes up, wages go up, and we all live in a post-scarcity utopia. But let's look at the actual data. The paper is by Anton Korenek at Yale and Suhail Rizvi. It's dense, it's academic, and it's boring, by design. They hide the truth in calculus because they know you won't check the math. Here is the smoking gun. The paper starts with two premises that are already happening. 1. AGI arrives. Not a godlike AI, just one that can do any economic task a human can do. 2. Compute becomes abundant. Moore's law on steroids. Now, here's the lie falling apart. The paper makes a distinction that chills me to the bone. It divides all human endeavor into two buckets. Bucket 1, bottleneck work. Bucket 2, accessory work. Bottleneck work is the stuff that actually drives growth: energy, logistics, advanced R&D. Accessory work is everything else: art, therapy, hospitality, the human touch. Here's the secret they aren't saying out loud. The economy does not need accessory work to grow. It only needs to solve the bottlenecks. Proposition 1 of the paper proves that AGI must automate all bottleneck work. Why? Because if human labor is the limit, the economy stops growing. The system demands infinite growth. Therefore, the system must remove the human limit. This isn't about humans being bad at the job. It's about humans being finite. We need sleep, we need food, we unionize, we have rights. Compute does not sleep, compute does not strike. So the gods of Silicon Valley aren't building AGI to help you. They are building it to remove the one thing holding back their infinite compounding wealth: you. But that's just the surface level. That's just automation. What I'm about to show you in Act 2 ties this directly to the sudden push for universal basic income and the World Economic Forum's Great Reset. The math in this paper predicts a scenario where GDP goes to infinity and your share of it goes to zero. It explains exactly why the stock market hits record highs while you can barely afford groceries. You won't believe the connections. But first, if you suspect the news has been lying to you about the AI boom, hit that like button. Let the algorithm know we're watching. Welcome to the nightmare scenario. Let's talk about linearity. Propositions 2 and 3 of the paper argue that once AGI takes over the bottlenecks, economic output becomes a linear function of compute. In simple English, the economy's growth rate equals the rate at which we can build more chips. If NVIDIA pumps out 20% more chips, the economy grows 20%. Human labor is no longer in the equation. We are mathematically excised from the formula of growth. So you ask, okay, but I still have skills. A surgeon has skills. A lawyer has skills. Surely we get paid for that? Wrong. Proposition 4 is the most brutal part of this document. It states that wages will converge to the cost of compute. Listen to me carefully. Your salary will not be determined by your years of medical school. The ceiling on your wage is set by the question, how much electricity and silicon does it cost to run the AI that does your job? As chips get cheaper, you get cheaper. If it costs $5 an hour to run the Surgeon Bot 9000 on a server, no hospital will pay you $500 an hour. Open your eyes. They have done this before. They did it with land and feudalism. They did it with capital in the Industrial Revolution. And now, they are doing it with compute. The thread tying them all together is disposability. In every shift, the elite find a new resource to monopolize. The new land is NVIDIA H100 GPUs. And you? You are the horse right before the invention of the Model T. This leads to Proposition 5. Labor's share of GDP converges to zero. Currently, about 60% of the world's GDP goes to workers. The other 40% goes to capital. This paper proves that as compute scales, that 60% shrinks. 50%, 30%, 10%, until it hits effectively zero. We aren't talking about a recession. We are talking about the decoupling of human existence from economic value. This is why you see billionaires racing to build nuclear fusion and trillion-dollar data centers. They know the game has changed. They are building the arcs, and they aren't checking if there are enough seats for you. It gets worse. Propositions 9 through 11 extend this to science itself. The paper models a world where AI automates the process of discovery. It invents better materials to build better chips to run better AI. It's a feedback loop, a singularity of sorts. But here's the catch. The paper says this growth isn't infinite magic. It is limited by physical resources, energy, atoms. So the AI will be voracious. Do you think the system will prioritize heating your home or powering the server farm that generates $1 trillion a minute? So who wins? The owners of compute, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, they are consolidating the most valuable resource in human history. When they talk about universal basic income, they aren't being charitable. They are discussing an allowance. UBI is the hush money they plan to pay you to stay out of the way. It's the transition from citizen to dependent. If your wage is zero and you live on a government stipend provided by taxes on AI companies, you are not a free agent, you are a pet. Let that sink in. The title "We Won't Be Missed" isn't an apology, it's a statement of fact. If tomorrow, half the human population decided to stop working, the model suggests the economy would barely flinch. The stock market would probably go up because inefficient biological units were removed from the payroll. This is the terrifying prediction. Not that the robots kill us, but that the economy simply moves on without us. You feel this already, don't you? The pressure to do more with less. The feeling that the algorithm knows you better than you know yourself. The subtle devaluation of human art and human writing. This is the accessory phase beginning. We are being moved to the nice-to-have pile. So, what happens in a world with zero labor share? There are only two options. Option A, a radical redistribution of wealth where ownership of compute is shared. Option B, a neo-feudal caste system where a trillionaire class lives in the stratosphere, and the rest of us fight over the scraps in the mud. Looking at history, which option do you think they are picking? At the start, I asked you if you were ready to see the plan to make you irrelevant. This paper is that plan. The growth they promise is real. The boom is coming. But it is a boom that leaves you behind. We are standing on the tracks, arguing about politics, while a bullet train made of silicon is barreling toward us. The paper concludes that we need to figure out distribution fast, but they won't. So, what is the counter move? Stop trying to be a better worker. You cannot outwork a GPU. Start trying to be an owner. Learn how these systems work. Build local networks that don't rely on their grid. Invest in the infrastructure, not the labor. Don't be the accessory. Be the bottleneck. If this video terrified you, good. Fear is the first step to waking up. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to survive the transition. We are the resistance against irrelevance. Stay dangerous.